We're live! What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Happy E3. Was awesome.
Ew.
Somewhat. Pretty good. How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
How the fuck are you doing? That's what I'm asking.
Still on. My head is still vibrating from the conference. Trying to put it all together. He did drop some bombs today.
We got some bombs today.
Yeah, they're bombs.
And what do you think as far as man? All right, so. Wait, how you doing, Undead? Before I even get into it, how are you doing, Undead? Undead?
Can he hear you?
Yeah, he's frozen, dude. I think his computer's suffering from Scorpio syndrome.
Oh no! Is he frozen? Let me see his picture.
Is he's frozen?
Yeah, he's frozen. He looks he looks happy though.
He is happy.
He's a happy frozen.
Yeah. But, all right. So, what do you think? What do you think of the Xbox conference?
I thought it was pretty good. Like, yeah, I liked how they dropped the the first thing they announced was the Xbox One S, the new white slim console, and they came out that Phil Spencer came out with like tons of energy and was really pumped. A lot of enthusiasm, which you see a lot, but you don't see a lot on stage. Like they kind of keep kind of to the script, and he was just really energetic. And I thought it was a good conference. I thought there should have been. I think a lot of it did leak.
Yes.
That kind of I think the Dead Rising thing would have been a nice little surprise, even though they didn't spend too much time on it. But it was kind of. Yeah, I wanted to see maybe just a little bit more new IP or what stuff is coming. Because we did just kind of get a recap of what last year was shown, and then they just kind of showed some gameplay and developed on that, and we got some release dates. What'd you think?
Man, actually, I'm gonna try to get my man Jay Adelaide in here. I'm gonna send him a message if he's watching. I'm gonna send him a link. But just to go off of what you said, man, it did feel like a glorified recap of last year. There was a hinted at that we didn't get to see, like stuff like there was no Crackdown. You know what I mean? There was no Crackdown at all. I was almost afraid that there would be no like Scorpio because of where timing was going. We got to see Sea of Thieves, which actually looked fun. Like you know what I mean? It gave me that. What people forget. I tell people all the time, I play video games on just entertainment value alone. And Sea of Thieves, when they got to play and you see how much fun they were having, I was like, oh my God, that's going to be fun. But then they didn't give me a date.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, we saw the games that they showed last year between Gamescom and stuff. And then at first I felt a little bit beat up because every game literally that was announced. The thing is, of all the games they showed, I think two of them weren't exclusives.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think 2 or 3 of them weren't exclusive, but all of them are essentially Windows games, and which is cool. And we knew that was coming, but it was just like trying to get yourself comfortable and prepared for that movement. But I liked how they tagged it. Xbox. It was called Xbox Play Anywhere.
Xbox Anywhere. Or
Yo.
Anywhere, something like that.
Yo. What's up, Jay Adelaide? We live, but I did want you to get in here. What did you think, Jay?
Yeah, I think it was really good. I liked what I saw, especially I think the biggest one for me was Scalebound, because I really did not know what that game was. But I really like the fact that they're bringing that style of game to the Xbox, and it really sort of brought back memories of playing, some of these old sort of Japanese style games and stuff like that. So yeah, it really got me interested in that game.
Yeah, that game did look great. It did look great.
Yeah, and I really like the way it was co-op as well. So it's definitely one you can jump on with your friends and stuff like that, and Yeah, just the fact that it shed some light on what that game actually was. Yeah, it was really, really interesting for me, that one.
Yeah, that did look good. And actually, I don't know if we're going to go through each item or if we're just going to talk about it, but it's pretty interesting showing Final Fantasy 15 and Scalebound. And Final Fantasy 15, I was noticing how the AI was just watching the main guy and not really attacking that monstrous thing that was killing them. And then, in Scalebound, with people was co-op, everybody was attacking that. So it's like, I think that fact that it's co-op in Scalebound makes it even better than just not having a co-op. Like, it looks really cool.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think, like with Final Fantasy 15, I've been quite disappointed with it in general, just because of it just doesn't remind me of a Final Fantasy game in the
Yes.
way it's played.
Mhm.
But what I did sort of get from that conference was that Phil Spencer and the Microsoft team are trying to really sort of embrace more sort of Japanese style games and
Yep.
bring on a different crowd, because we had Tekken there, we had the Final
Yes.
Fantasy, we had the Scalebound, and even the Recall, and I was just like, yeah, these are the
Yeah,
games
Recore
that
looks
you
awesome,
usually have to
man.
go to PlayStation for, but now you're able to get them on the Xbox, and as they were saying at the beginning of the conference, it's all about choice, and
Yep.
I can definitely get behind that. So that's why for me
I
it was
agree. Yeah,
definitely
they
a
did
really
have a
cool
little
show.
more Japanese centric games. Like, even like Tekken, to have a stage presence on a Microsoft conference like that was, you typically don't see that. Like, it's usually more of the Street Fighter, not even Street Fighter, but like, Tekken on stage is kind of it was interesting.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the Tekken was interesting. I feel like they're trying to just get that broader crowd. But as far as like what me and Jazz was talking about when we first started the stream was that the conference itself was solid, but it did feel like a glorified recap of like last year's of last year's showing. I think the only thing. I mean, Forza Horizon 3 looks amazing. Happy that it's coming September. I can't
That
wait
looked
to
good.
jump into that. It looks amazing. It's gonna be fun. And Forza Horizon 2, like I said, was like was my favorite game of 20. What year did that come out? Was it 2015 or 2014? 2014.
2014, yeah.
2014 Horizon 2 came out. Was definitely one of my favorite games, along with Sunset Overdrive that year. And Horizon 3 just looks even better. As far as what you're going to be able to do, drop in and dropping out, the co-op, being able to have somebody play with you and they playing on either Windows 10 or being on their PC and you're playing on the Xbox. Also, what they showed, I said they would open the show with Gears of War. Didn't we say that yesterday? I said they were going to open the show, and Mike didn't believe that they would.
Well, they opened it with the Xbox with hardware.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they opened it with hardware, but like gameplay wise, it was the Gears of War.
Yeah.
Which once again didn't fail to impress. Looked amazing. The story looks like it's going to be compelling as all hell, and it was, like I said, it was solid. And I think even though it wasn't a surprise, it just hit me like it took me some getting like used to, like, all right, every game is going to PC essentially, but they found a nice way to put it, and I can't wait till it happens. Recore was one of the games I thought was not coming this year. To my surprise, it's coming out 3 months, September 13th. That I didn't expect.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would say that I think the conference was solid in terms of what they're trying to, the message that they're trying to get across. They did not want to mess up their messaging, and because that's what basically happened with the Xbox One when that originally came out. So I think that Phil did a good job at that. But I think I'm sort of same as you, Kitsmooth. Whereas I didn't feel that I was on the edge of my seat going, "Oh my God, this is amazing" or anything like that. But I just felt that it had good content. It was quite solid, and I suppose the part where they talk about the sort of the new hardware and features and stuff like that, where they'll talk about their clubs and all that kind of stuff. I already knew that months ago. So for me, that was kind of like, oh, I already knew this. Do you know what I mean? And that's obviously because I've got developer access, so some of it was already like I already knew it kind of thing. But I did like the way that they brought across the messaging. And even though the Scorpio is coming out next year, I still feel compelled to get the Xbox One S, just because I'm like it's sleeker. You know, it can do the 4K stuff, and I like watching like streaming Netflix and stuff like that in the highest resolution I can.
Speaking
I like
of that 1S, I just wanted to just tell you, I'm looking at Amazon right now, and Major Nelson put the link up, and it says the 2 terabyte console is $399.99. And people in the Twitter feed were saying, well, why is it advertised as $299? And they said in the announcement there was small text that said the 500 gigabyte model was $299.
Oh, so there's 2 models.
That's what it. I'm trying to find the lower price model. Sorry to interrupt you, but I was looking at
that would make sense to me.
That's a big that's a big deal.
It starts lower, and then if you want the 2 terabyte model, then you go and get that. The one thing that I sort of felt like was a bit of how can I say a bit of a shut your mouth kind of thing was when they said that the power brick was inside the box. Because so many media people have been like, oh, you know, you still got the power brick, and now it's just like, look, it's in the box now. Stop complaining, move on, kind of thing. But it's not more powerful than the current one or whatever. But
average gamer in chat says that there are 3 models, but you only could pre-order the 2 terabyte one right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There, he posted the prices. There's $299 for 5 gigabytes. 1 terabyte is $349, and then the 2 terabyte is $399. That's what average gamer is saying.
Okay. Average gamer. Shout out to average gamer for the help.
This gamer, thank you for the info.
All right, that's cool. I'm interested. I might get rid of my my huge Xbox for the Slim, and then I'll hold me down until the Scorpio come out.
You need to stop changing your consoles, man. Just buy an extra one.
But I don't know. I don't know, but I was hoping the Scorpio would be like something like earlier, but it's next holiday, so another a year from a little over a year from now. But that makes me look forward to E3 to see how they present it.
I'm surprised they gave so much information on the Scorpio, just because it just leaves them wide open for competitors to just come in and be like, hey, we've added this in and blah 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 and stuff like that. I mean, I know it's really really late in the development of the hardware that you can't just change things around and stuff like that. But it's just so surprising that they were just so open with it. But maybe that's a good thing.
I know, I agree. And the thing is I'm still, and I think the whole setup of how the announcements were with the games, sort of like just the same games that we saw last year, not many new ones. I think everybody's in a stalemate. Like, everybody's just on a hold right now, because both of these systems now are transitioning again. And I think, and he said the reason why they're announcing it today, this is what he said, the reason Phil Spencer on the end, the reason why we're announcing Scorpio today is to get developers to start developing now for it.
Exactly.
Not keep it a secret and dev kits go out and stuff like that. And remember, that's how people found out about PlayStation Neo, was that the instructions on how they should function with the Neo that's coming out. But that only came out till recently, beginning of this year, or the middle of this, towards the springtime. So Microsoft's telling people now that, hey, we got a 6 teraflop system coming. It's going to be cross-platform, Xbox One, PC, it doesn't matter, and start developing your hearts out for next year, which is very exciting. But that scares me to think that I don't know what's next for year's Xbox conference. What is it going to be? Halo 6 running on Scorpio? They're probably. There's not going to be any new games for the Scorpio. And the thing is, too, is that they still have to develop for the Xbox One. And so Scorpio's not going to have its wings opened up or anything.
The Scorpio's going to have the PC wings.
I think the good thing about the Scorpio is that whenever you got a new console that comes out, you always have what we call the launch games, which usually come out. They're not that amazing because they're sort of being rushed to come out. They're a bit buggy here and there, stuff like that. But what happens with the Scorpio is that you've got this library of games that you've already previously owned. And
upscale them.
Yeah, it's upscaled. You've got people. I mean, we saw Rod Ferguson talking in that little interview at the end. So they're obviously already doing stuff with Gears of War, in preparation for Scorpio. So they're gonna obviously want to use those big games to sort of showcase what the Scorpio can do. And I'm sure that they're gonna have something to do with Halo being shown on there as well and stuff like that. So
Yes.
This thing's gonna come out, and then you're already gonna have a nice collection of things that can be used with it. The same as with the PlayStation 4. You know, I saw someone talking about, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn. They're saying, you know, this thing is basically running on the PS4 Neo, because look how smooth it's running, look how good it's, do you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And that to me is a good thing, because the games I want and I'm gonna buy it anyways is gonna be available for this new sort of this monster machine, as they called it in the conference. You know, so I know I'm not gonna have to be waiting for, you know, a Connect game that's gonna come out, you know, just because they need games to come out and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy about that.
And some people in chat, I'm seeing like Ace 3D and Wise Fool 24/7. The whole stuff going on with the 4K, it's really like it does make a difference, but you could just play 4K resolution if you kind of take down lighting, if you take down certain things. Like you could get to that resolution and a steady frame rate if you manipulate the graphics. The thing is that I think they're so focused on saying, well, we're going to deliver a 4K resolution that the game is really, like, it's scalable. They're all going to look better, but I'm just kind of not getting excited for all this technical stuff, and the games are not going to be like, wow, this could only run on the Scorpio. That's what is going to be like, wow. Instead, it's going to be like, wow, these games are running on the lower end version, but they look a little high resolution now on the Scorpio. Is it worth $600 or whatever like that? You know, I play 4K on PC and it looks great. It looks great, but I don't know.
I think for me, coming from a developer's standpoint, I mean, the first thing I did as soon as the conference finished was I messaged one of my friends and was like, look, we need to start working on a VR game for this, because obviously, you know, to get that ready for next year and stuff, it'll be like one of the first ones there and stuff like that, you know. But other than that, I mean, VR aside, with these sort of new specs, you're thinking to yourself, all those things that you had to drop behind in your game because it was struggling to hit, you know, 1080p, and we know the Xbox One has many games that have struggled to hit that. You know, you're thinking to yourself, okay, you can put those things in and you can even do even more. I mean, how many times have people said they want games where you can go into every single building, you know, you can interact with more NPCs, all these kind of things. Games can start doing things like that. And I mean, something like State of Decay 2, you know, I'm thinking to myself, that's a game that's, you know, it's just, I think it's going to be an MMO this time around. You know, so being able to have all these zombies anywhere, being able to, you know, set up buildings everywhere, utilize all these different things, that to me is what I consider to be future gaming. I'm not too bothered about the fact that it's going to look more shiny and, you know, see 4K or whatever. For me, it's having 60 frames, smooth 60 frames, and being able to do a lot more with the NPCs and the AI and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, so, and I totally agree with you. I think, you know, like going into more interactive environments, going into buildings, stuff like that. But the problem is that they're not talking about that kind of stuff. Instead, they're talking about we're going to hit a resolution and resolution.
Yeah, but that's what you call speaking to, you know, the people in the audience, you guys watching. But to the developers, I mean, he had a clear message. Developers, you could start doing what you want to do now, kind of thing. I'm really the way I'm looking at what he's saying and the way you're looking at what he's saying is two different things. So I'm thinking, okay, now we can, you know, start really pushing the boundaries and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, pretend I'm you know, as highly skilled as someone that's working at Ubisoft and stuff like that. So therefore, my game may not be as optimized as, you know, some of the things that they would do. So therefore, I might even be even more limited because, you know, I don't have the skills to, you know, get to pump every single bit of juice out of it. Like what, you know, like for example, The Witcher 3. That game is like really gorgeous and, you know, it's massive.
Yes.
And I do not know how they got all of that into you know, onto the Xbox and stuff like that.
I know.
But
well,
you know, with all this extra space now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, now I can even go a lot further because I've got all this, you know, juice to play with now. You know, so imagine what these other devs are going to be able to do. Like the next CD Projekt Red game, that's probably going to be some like amazingly looking game. Like you got to think what they did with Witcher 3, and then, you know, the Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever it's called. That's probably going to look like amazing and play amazing and stuff like that. So you just got to kind of think to yourself, yeah, they're talking about resolution because at the end of the day, all that's been in the media is resolution. So now you're saying we're going to be a beast with the resolution. We're leading the charge with the 4K native.
Mhm.
So that's going to get all those people that was, resolution hungry.
Yeah.
That's going to get them all on board. But everyone else is going to be like saying, oh my God, all these teraflops, look at everything we've got to play with.
I know, but you can't have terror. The thing is like resolution is kind of the only thing they kind of could change across the platforms, because you can't say I could go into buildings and stuff on the Scorpio, but I can't go into those buildings on Xbox One. You can't limit features because of power. So therefore, they're not going to utilize the power in that aspect. Instead, they're going to use it for graphics.
I understand that, and I think there was a similar argument with Crackdown 3, which I'm surprised they didn't show. But,
I'm surprised too.
No Crackdown 3.
Yeah, someone said that basically, if all of this computational is done on the cloud, what happens to the people that can't get access
Exactly. Yep. You can't have gameplay features behind that.
Yeah, I think they said that some things like some of the destruction won't be available, which is, I guess, fair enough. I mean, in this day and age, you kind of would think that a lot of people would be on the internet kind of thing. And I don't know if you're watching IGN live, but Seamus Blackley, the guy who made, the creator of the
original Xbox,
he was basically saying, look, consoles are going to be dead in, a few years, because the way like every other company out there, within the tech industry, all their stuff is on big server farms and stuff like that. So, all these consoles, they're kind of behind when you think about it. Microsoft has this big Azure platform, and they're not really utilizing it. So, it kind of makes sense that they're going to try and drive people towards that. So maybe that's why Crackdown isn't out right now, because it's not, it's not looking.
I don't think Crackdown is going to be. I think Crackdown is going to be something, honestly, that's going to be where I don't know. Maybe it has to be like a Windows 10 Scorpio, like.
Crackdown, if it fails to impress, that is going to set them back quite a lot, because people are banking on that game to be the thing that shows off the cloud in such a way that it gets people interested in, basically, going forward and putting loads of stuff on the cloud. So that has to be kind of spot on. Otherwise, consumers and gamers, they're just going to be like, yeah, this is a joke. The cloud is a joke. So,
The thing that bugs me about Crackdown not being shown is that last year when it was shown, it was supposed to be like, it said play multiplayer, summer 2016. And I'm assuming that was just a beta at least. I mean, I know Gamescom is in August, but I don't. Only thing they can show at Gamescom is really honestly stuff for like the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe they show it at Gamescom. I don't know. Like maybe they will.
Well, if they show it at Gamescom, we're not playing any of it this year.
No, they're supposed to have a beta.
Yeah, it's a bit odd that they didn't even mention anything, and no one said anything.
I feel the thing is we didn't get a release date for Sea of Thieves either.
Nope. And Halo Wars 2 got pushed to February. It was not a.
Last year, it was announced
as a holiday. It was last year. It was announced as a holiday 2016. But
the thing is, they are. I mean, right now they got 2 games in September with Recore and Forza, and then we got Gears of War in October. And then, is that it?
Gears of War October, and then no, they're gonna have Dead Rising 4.
Dead Rising November. That's gonna be November.
Holiday, so I bet you it's gonna be like right around that. So it's Christmas themed. So.
All right, so they got 4 games between September and September and November, and the other game.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying. I was wondering that Dead Rising 4, if that's gonna be a full price game.
What would make you question that?
Because it looked like it was he's revisiting that thing just in the Christmas time. I don't know. I guess it'll be $60. I did not like how they didn't. They just dropped some gameplay and moved on. Like they really didn't talk about their games at all. Like to talk about like what Dead Rising 4 was. Like it says Frank is back, and it's like a Christmas theme, and it's coming out this year, and we haven't heard about it. Like maybe it's not a full maybe it's like a DLC kind of like $30 game or $40 game. Maybe it's not no blockbuster exclusive. Like Dead Rising 3 was like a launch title. That was a pretty big deal. This one seemed like they kind of just threw it out there. And I think the same thing with Recoil. Like, why didn't they really kind of like that's a new IP. Why not establish that on stage instead of I know they have sideshows and stuff, but I don't know.
You got 90 minutes.
But they spent a fucking demo on Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy
You know, those
15 demo was not necessary. The Tekken wasn't really necessary, but I see why they did it for politics.
But you got those games out there that are kind of like out there, and it's like, but your own IP, established Microsoft Studios, like Channel Office comes out and says we're here about this and all this other stuff, and then they kind of like shoot through them and just like don't show anybody come out and talk about the game they're making, like the Recore, man. Recore was like
I wasn't impressed with Recore, to be honest. I don't know, just like I say,
see what I mean? Exactly, because they didn't talk about it.
It seemed like they skipped over it. They didn't really give us any context as to who the woman was, and you know
exactly what she doing. And also too, the other thing too is that the cores. It looked like the game kind of changed because it looked like you could kind of build your robot from the video last year. Now it looks like you got like 4 company robots that you kind of could like they do different things.
Yeah,
so
I thought it was like you basically salvage this core, you find some busted robot, put it in it. And you get like some random robot that could have, you know, different personalities and stuff like that, just depending on sort of like what, you know, the core that you find or whatever. But it seems, like you said, it just seemed like it was like 4 different kind of robots, and one was fire, one was lightning, or some crap
exactly.
like that.
And especially that was the first time we saw gameplay of it. And the same thing with Dead Rising. Like the 2 games that look kind of cool, Dead Rising 4 and Recore, they kind of just went whoop right through. And meanwhile, they got a guy comes out on stage. And you know, Kid Smook backed me up. I was yelling at my TV when that guy came out talking about Gwent and a card game and talking like, get off the stage. We don't need that whole card game from Witcher. I know it's a popular game. But come on, I don't need to show what you're upset. That's a mini game within a game. And I don't know. Those are the kind of things that upset me from it.
The problem about E3, what people seem to forget as well, though, is that it's an industry event. So, whereas they're coming out with the card game and stuff like that, they're basically saying we've got this thing that's going to be popular. It's going to be like Hearthstone, you know, get all those users, all that, you know, money, blah blah blah. So, at the same time as trying to, you know, show to your fans and, you know, potential gamers and stuff like that, all these really cool things. I guess, like you're saying, they got to do the whole political thing and, you know, do certain things and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I was going to go to E3 this year, but it just I just couldn't get things sorted in time.
And the thing is that not knocking Recore, like that game looks interesting. I'm just saying, why didn't Microsoft kind of show like embrace it and show the gameplay? Because it looked awesome. Like it looked like something that they don't have in their portfolio.
Well, could it be to do with the fans and, you know, these guys that are not really backing these games? So, do you know what I mean? You spend all that budget, you know, hyping up these games and stuff like that, and then they're not doing so well. So then you're thinking to yourself, okay, we need to start putting more emphasis on third-party stuff. You know, some of these bigger titles like Forza and stuff like that. Because I mean, like, I was surprised that the Division came up. You know, I actually like the Division, but I know that a lot of people don't like that game anymore. But they had to show it because, you know, even though it's not doing that well, but in terms of the numbers and stuff like that, because people have dropped off. But it's you know what I mean, they've got that partnership there, and they want to keep them sweet. And you know, I just think that there's certain things that they have to do to, you know, for political reasons.
Yeah, they definitely have more third-party presence. They had that stuff, but it was a good show, and I know they have these post shows and they go into the stuff, but you know, it's just I'm kind of all over the place with where Microsoft's going. I know they say play everywhere, do all this stuff with the Scorpio, and I'm just like sort of confused. It's like, well, wait till 2017 when you could get a gaming PC now and get all the teraflops you want, and then it's like, but then wait for next year for whether they're going to reveal. But then here's the S. It's not as powerful, but it has 4K output and video, but not gaming. And then you still have your Xbox One sitting there, like, you know, the old one sitting there. I'm just like, I just think they're all over the place. Like, I don't know where to begin.
I can see where you're coming from, because, as I'm saying, the way you see it and the way I'm seeing it is kind of two different things. Because if I looked at it the way you're looking at it, yeah, I would say I would probably be confused as well. But the way I'm looking at it is that I see it as, okay, I can now have my console in the living room on a big 4K TV, blah, blah, blah. And then I go into my office and guess what? The wife's not there, no kids to bother me. I can just be like, yeah, I'm working, but really I'm booting up, my game because it's now on, on
Yep,
Xbox
that's what I
Anywhere or
do.
whatever.
I do that right now.
And you know what I mean? So I think from that perspective, they're sort of seeing it as we're going to get all these extra users because, obviously PC people want some of these Xbox games and stuff like that. And they're trying to just basically say, we've got all this choice. You can play it anywhere, blah, blah, blah. This is what we're doing going forwards. But then, to other people, they're just like, I don't care about PC. I want to know what games are going to be here now and, coming up in the future. I mean, if you look at the Battlefield trailer, I was like, this is the exact same thing that they showed yesterday. Like, why are they showing the same trailer?
Yeah.
So to me, again, that didn't need to be there. That could have been more time spent on Recall because now I was excited for Recall, but now I'm just kind of like, well, I don't know what the hell it is, and what I saw from it doesn't look that good. So
Yeah. Well, they'll show more of it, but I do like to play Xbox anyway, and I think that was the big announcement of the E3 show was that you buy it and you play it anywhere, and that's going to be with a lot of their games. Gears is going to be the first one. Then they're saying Recore, Scalebound, like State of Decay too. And, now what they need to kind of do is get third parties on board with that program. And you notice they're calling it a program, so they're kind of doing like same with the backwards compatibility program. Like they want now third parties and other people to participate. And probably one of the caveats to participating is that those third parties will have to probably put that on Microsoft Store.
Yeah, that's the invitation.
That's the caveat.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
that's the goal. That is the goal. That's why when I was talking about the whole UWP and what it means and what Microsoft is really trying to do is really get all those games that Steam got, Xbox got, is going to be right there in the Xbox store with everyone else. So they want, that's one way they can bolster their own store as well. And they have to do it via this Xbox with this UWP thing. But as far as just so because I don't want to dwell on like one particular thing, we got Project Scorpio and then we got the Xbox One S. Do you think any of by announcing Project Scorpio they shrunk the growth of the possible Xbox One S success?
No, I don't, and I'd say it like this with a PC. There's some people that can afford, £1,000 PC. There's some people that can only get a £600 PC. So at the end of the day, we all come from different walks of life. Get what you can get. I'll be getting Scorpio because, as I say, I want that 60 frames, gameplay, especially for my shooters and stuff like that. Yep. I want to, utilize the best resolution on the TV. I'm spending lots of money on the TV, so therefore I want a console that can look great on this TV. But then there's some people that don't really care about the resolution, so they shouldn't be forced to have to get, a top spec console. So they can just get the S range and stuff like that. And I just think that having a choice is a good thing. So I don't see it confusing people. I feel like unless like a 12-year-old's going to buy a console, most people should have enough common sense to be able to know that this is this one, this other one, and the shop should be able to help with that as well. So I don't think it's going to affect it.
I think the opposite. Nexus Zen in chat took the words out of my mouth. I think they kind of just cannibalized. They really just put themselves in a kind of a holding pattern now for the next year until the Scorpio releases. And I think the thing and the other thing that especially now just coming on to and checking that out about the $300. At first I was thinking about the S, but the $299 one that they announced is not the 2 terabyte one, because I'm like $299 for 2 terabyte. Shit, maybe get an S. But now that's $400 for a 2 terabyte, and for an S, the problem is from today until November of 2017, we're going to be saying, oh, how's this going to look on the Scorpio? Oh, look, it's 900p. How does this going to look on the Scorpio? How does this going to do? And then if Sony really comes out and does the PS Neo in October or November with PSVR, you're going to have gameplay videos with Xbox One, PlayStation Neo, and PlayStation is going to have the power on both ends, and you're going to have over a year and a half now of just being kind of like, okay, if that matters to you, knowing that you have the kind of the lower resolution looking game. And I think by announcing the Scorpio, it just gave people something to whet their appetite, and I think the confidence of having everything's going to work on Scorpio, that's nice, and your games are going to work, so you don't have to worry about losing your friends or anything like that. But your friends carried over from Xbox 360 to Xbox One. That was great, but a lot of the features didn't. But that was great, but that wasn't enough to keep people to buy all the Xbox Ones, and that's what PlayStation jumped
But do you think an answer to the Scorpio could be a strategy so that people then say, do you know what, I ain't going to get the PS Neo. I might as well wait because the PS Neo ain't even going to be the most powerful. I may as well wait, a couple months or a year or whatever.
And then
I'll get the most powerful one.
If they were going to announce the Scorpio for spring, like if it was going to be a few months away, fine. But you're talking about a year. And when I saw Holiday 7 2017, I'm like, this is going to be a long year and a half.
Yeah, but if you think about what the Neo is, it's basically it's a PS4 that does exactly what the Scorpio is going to do, which is gives you a better experience of that particular game. So therefore, if you're saying, okay, this beast machine is coming out soon, so you may as well start stacking up your library, forget the PS4, get your library now, and then when the Scorpio comes out, you've got all that library plus the games you're gonna get.
And that's what they're banking on. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. And they're banking on you build your library now with us on Xbox One S, on Xbox One, on PC. Build it now, because now we're going to release something more powerful in the future that everything's going to work on, and that's what they're hoping, and that was the way they're talking. But
and I think that's what the PS4.
I think it's great, but in the reality of it, the thing with Sony's thing is that they're confident that their Neo and their other one are going to work together. That like their Neo version and their PlayStation one, so they're kind of doing the same thing. It's just that Microsoft, it just seems like a long time. Like if the Neo is pushed out to next year, I think we're good. But if the Neo is going to come out when they're saying like October and stuff, I think it's going to be a long year and a rough Christmas for Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm
just worried about they bring out the Neo, then the Scorpion, then the PS is like, oh, we need to do another thing, and then the Xbox is say we need to do another thing, and it just becomes a tug of war of who's trying to be the most powerful and stuff like that, because that would just become ridiculous.
And I was telling Kid Smooth in the chat, I was like, maybe and exactly what you were saying about building a library, but I think maybe now with the S, and this is when I thought the S was $299 for the 2 terabyte, but I thought they were trying to get the lower end of the market or the 360 people now, and then the hardcore people that kind of went for the more powerful console, trying to get them back with the Scorpio.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they should have just started with a 1 terabyte at the lower price, to be honest. That would have definitely made...
Yeah, I don't think there should be a 500 gig to exist.
Yeah, that would have been like a hostile takeover type thing, like being like, look, we're giving you all of this, better looking console, bigger hard drive, blah, 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 get it now. And that would have been a way for them to sort of like almost force people into buying it just because it's like such a great deal.
Yeah, I just want to say, Willie Beeman. Yeah, if you look up in the chat, they have different prices for different Microsoft Xbox.
It was 500 gig, $299, 1 terabyte, $349, and 2 terabyte, $399.
Yep, they pulled those Surface Book marketing on that one. That says, I think they said starting at $299, and then they took down that slide. So the starting.
Hey guys, one thing we need to talk about: the Sea of Thieves. That demonstration was horrible.
I like the ship sinking. I thought that was the only good part of that demonstration.
I don't think it was a bad demonstration.
I'm not talking about the game at all. I'm talking about the stupid people they had.
The people that were playing it.
Oh my god, it was just like, shut the fuck up.
That's pulled out of Ubisoft's demo book.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they didn't really talk much about it. The game, it kind of raised a bunch of questions. Okay, when do we get it, and really, what is it about? Is it a free to play? Is it not? Like, I don't know. Like, is the combat only going to take place in a boat, or like, there's a lot of things that I want to know about Sea of Thieves, and
I know. You know, and it just goes to the whole thing, and maybe coming off of Bethesda's thing, maybe not last night, but last year's. It's just, I think they need to like sell the games more on stage and just show like kind of less, and especially these new IPs that's their own, their studio, like you know, talk about what the game is. Like, I know they have all these after conferences and stuff, but I don't know. I just think, you know, you need to get those quick messages out there, like, hey, it's a pirate game. Like, you have all these questions about it. Like, is it just 4 people, or is it like open MMO? Like, were they fighting AI guys on the boat, or was that another group of people online? You know?
Yeah, and it looked quite bare. This looked like, unless you're into sort of driving a ship and firing cannons.
Yeah, who are they
what else
shooting
was there
at?
to do? What else was there to do? Can you go to islands and like build stuff there or get more resources? You know, is there NPCs that you talk to? Are there any quests? There was so many questions left from that, you know, and I just felt like, why you got these stupid people screaming where you can, you know, be giving us information about the game?
It looked great. I thought it looked good. It looks very cool.
Yeah, it looked great. The water looked amazing.
Yeah,
but,
the one thing that
you know,
really kind of got me, and I like kind of rolled my eyes, was like when they were trying to figure out how to move the ship. Like, oh, I got to put up the mast. Oh, I can't see where I'm going because the sail's in front of me. And I'm like, oh shit, that's gonna take coordination. People are not chatting. I'm like, oh man.
I'm saying those things there. That looks interesting. That looks like if you can get into a good team,
Yes.
people, it's gonna be fun. But at the same time, it's like, that's the fun that we want to discover. But you still, I mean, I come to E3 to try and get information on stuff. That's why I don't like CGI trailers, because CGI trailers tell me nothing other than you can make a really, really good video. You know, so that's why you want to see gameplay, because you want to see, okay, how is this being played in reality and stuff like that. And
Exactly.
you know, it just, I don't know. I mean, I know a developer that's working on this game, so I think I'm just have to, you know, just extract some information out of him, because that just like had nothing on there.
I know, like, and I could just see like 5 people or something just jumping around on a boat, going, "Who's gonna drive it? Put the sail down." And, like, that's the ones who are speaking, and you're just sitting on a boat going,
I mean,
going anywhere?
Microsoft conference this year. I mean, even though it's been a couple years, but they had a couple like G-rated moments. You know what I mean? With their conference, like. Yeah, man, with the Minecraft, you know, the Minecraft.
Yeah, the Minecraft was so cringy. Oh my god!
It was just like, man, like if you watch the stream, 'cause I streamed the whole thing, and I had to recap a little bit of it. I was like, oh damn, I really did look bored. It's like, come on, get on with it already. It's like, come on, just get to the next thing. I don't care about Minecraft. I don't care about the freaking Gwent card game. I didn't care to see the Division or anything like that, and I was like, I don't want to see Final Fantasy on the Xbox stage. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't like the Final Fantasy demo.
I wanted to see the Division because I bought the bloody season pass. So I wanted to see what the hell I was getting for my money, and I can't say that I'm too happy with that, because it just seemed like it was like go to the dungeon or the underground or whatever, and you're gonna get randomly generated dungeons, and it's just like, okay, then is that it? So. Yeah, I don't know. E3 for me has been kind of dead. You know, it's
been underwhelming, and I think the thing that really made Microsoft showing underwhelming is because of the leaks. Everything freaking leaked, and people would not stop talking about it. I understand one thing leaking, or maybe even the Scorpio and whatnot. But everything, literally everything had leaked with the exception of the Xbox Live features.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
So
I agree. You know, I think from that conference, the thing that I came away with thinking was that that game Inside, that looked very interesting to me, and We Happy Few, that again looked really interesting. The rest of the stuff, like you say, it was like so much stuff was leaked, so you know it was going to be shown. You know, the Scorpio, it was like, I mean, I was sort of waiting for that to be announced, but I did not know they were going to go that in depth with it. So that was a bit interesting. But yeah, I mean, coming off the back of EA, I mean, FIFA being in UK and stuff, I was looking so forward to seeing some FIFA gameplay and stuff like that. And then they showed some weird journey thing, and you know, just even Titanfall. I mean, I never play single player in COD games, or I haven't even played that much of the single player of Halo 5, and I love Halo 5. You know, I'm just a multiplayer type of person. So, you know, the single player stuff of Titanfall was just like, yeah, I don't really care. You know, so, you know, the other bits was okay. But, I mean, Meat said in one of these things today, you know, it looked kind of like Titanfall 1.5. You know, like they added a bit more. They added things that should have been in the first Titanfall, in my opinion. So it's going to be good, but I just feel I didn't think like there was anything special about it. So far for me, E3's been kind of dead.
Well,
so I'm looking forward to see what Sony's gonna do. But I mean, I'm not really.
The thing is, though, is that the thing is that I think what they did on stage was actually was huge. Like the Minecraft, as cringy as those people.
I hate Minecraft.
I know, but the thing is what they did though is that they made Minecraft cross-platform, everything except PlayStation and Wii. Basically, you're playing on an iPad, which you got an achievement. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. From a technical perspective, it's amazing. And even with the VR stuff, I can't remember.
Yeah, the guys on John Carmack showed up on a Microsoft stage. Last time I heard him, he was saying get a Wii and a 360.
But when he was talking, it was so cringy. It was like,
but that's
it's like, oh my god, I'm inside Minecraft. It's like, oh my god.
I know, but what they did with Minecraft is they really broke the walls down with that you could play on everything. People have lost their mind.
The type of people that watch E3 are not kids.
I know, but the thing is,
you're talking to the hardcore people. The hardcore people that want people that's talking. Well, that's the way I talk to my kids. Do you know what I mean? You don't want people talking to you like that on a E3 conference.
I know. I don't care about the Minecraft thing. I'm just like what they're doing is that they're just opening up the gates to everything. Same thing with just playing on Xbox and on PC.
Yeah,
like, I think it's great.
It is great. You know,
I'm just like the Xbox anyway. I'm just like I don't want to wait anymore. Like I just feel like this is the message that we should have got when Xbox One launched, and not what we had. And it seems like this is the reboot. Even the launch video for the Scorpio, like I'm like, oh my god, this is like how they launched Xbox One with all the faces and everybody talking to each other and stuff. Like, and they're talking about the system and the power and how you're gonna believe and all this other stuff. Like with the Xbox One launch when they had all those people. Jay Allen's talking about it, and you know it's nice. I know it's the reboot. It's just like. I'm like, guys, like we're doing this again. Like I'm just, and on top of that, the games are just kind of Gears, Forza, Halo Wars, Halo Wars, and then the ones that look unique, like Recourse, Sea of Thieves, those are the ones that we don't know about. Yeah. You know, I wanted to see more stuff from them and excitement from them. They talk about how excited they are about their IPs. That they're talking about how she said. Channel Office said 15 new IPs have come out, and here are new IPs, and they kind of just blasted through them, and I'm like, all right, I understand that they have the shows, and again, but it's like you have the stage, you should brand your stuff, so like we get excited for Sea of Thieves, like it looked great, but I want to know more about it. I want to get an idea.
No, you're absolutely right. That should have been a game, that was like. Definitely more information should have went into that. The Scorpio, I felt like that should be something coming out this year. I said, waiting a whole year for it.
A year and a half. It's like holiday. A year and a half.
I don't know if I'll be as excited in a year and a half's time. Like I've got a kid coming, for November. So the first year of my kid's life, I'm gonna be, right there and. Trying to be, very much involved in stuff. So, do you know what I mean? I don't know whether I'm going to be that interested in a Scorpio come the time. So, it would have been nice for it sort of to be, releasing this year and stuff like that. And Sea of Thieves, I was thinking, we're going to get loads more information. To be honest, I didn't really even like Sea of Thieves, like the fact that it's in first person. I would have liked it to have been in third person as well, maybe. So I don't know, but Recore.
Like those games. Like I just like those we knew about. Like see how much time they gave to Scalebound. Like they should have done that with Recore. Maybe not as much, but like Recore and Sea of Thieves should have got a little bit more. That's the criticism I had with that thing. The other thing is that I know they opened with the hardware, the Xbox S, the Slim, and then they kind of just negated it and they said, "And here's Scorpio," like with the future. And I think they're kind of calling it Project Scorpio because I'm wondering if they're going to call it Xbox Two or something like that. So we don't know if it's an Xbox family,
Well,
but it might be called something.
It will be an Xbox family related game.
Did he say Xbox family or Xbox One family?
You said Xbox, so it could be Xbox One 2.
Nah, it's crazy. Xbox One, you got the Xbox One S, and now they got Project Scorpio. So I think they call it's going to be like the
Xbox One Elite. No, they can't make it Elite. It's not Xbox.
Yeah, man, that's true. They're probably somewhere in the marketing room going crazy over freaking names.
What they're gonna name it? Xbox Infinity or something like that. It's the next Xbox. That's what that is, and that's the saddest thing is that I feel like when the 360 came, when they announced the Xbox One was being developed or something like that, when they announced it. It was sort of like when they announced the Xbox One, that was the year it was coming out, right? They didn't talk about the year before. On E3, they just did that review. So think about that. Think about they kind of did exactly what fucking Nintendo did with the Wii and the Wii U. Like that's what they're kind of doing. It's like, hey, still be excited for Xbox One, but we have next gen consoles coming out and so powerful, it's gonna blow Xbox One out of the water. Like it's just like no. I don't think it was the time to show it at E3. I think they should have kind of done it maybe after holiday to probably piss off a lot of people, but they should have kind of done it not like it was mixed messaging. Like it was like, here's the Slim, you should go out and get this, pre-order today, and then like here's a more powerful console that's gonna blow this shit out of the water. Yeah, everything will work, but shit, this is so huge, people don't even know what the fuck to talk about.
I just feel like the Xbox Scorpio should just be like the death of the previous ones.
Exactly. Yes.
Because I feel like I understand that they say no one gets left behind, but that is what was the problem with the Xbox One. Everyone was in a 360, so you had games coming out that had to cater for that, and that was like really really behind. So I mean,
but the thing is, my biggest gripe when the Xbox One came out with some, and then with backward. I guess the thing is, when I turned on my Xbox One, I wanted my shit to be there, like how my Xbox moved, like how my movies, my movies were there, my everything was there.
I agree that all your stuff should be there and work and stuff like that. But at the same time, I just feel like, I mean, just sort of thinking about it, and what Joe Z was saying, basically, are they really going to be able to fully push the boundaries on the Scorpio if the games have to work on the previous consoles as well?
No, they can't.
So,
yes, they can.
Or is this going to be?
It's just going to be scaling. It's going to be graphics and lighting and texture.
Or is it going to be? Is it going to be a stealth attack where they're going to be like, okay, we know we said this, but guess what? You have to move over.
Well, eventually that's going to happen. They're going to.
Well, eventually they'll have to do it. Otherwise, they could just sell an empty box and just run everything on UWP.
Well, that's the problem, and that is the thing that I was looking for. I was looking for the modularity, and maybe that's why they didn't show the Scorpio. But I was looking for something that says, "Hey guys, they need to have an upgradable Xbox that you could upgrade right now. This Slim should have been upgradable to whatever power the Scorpio has next year. And the fact that it doesn't, they are kind of just shot themselves in the foot, I think, from now until next year.
That's a good point, and that's a good idea. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking the whole time. Yeah. I was like, Slim is going to have I said it last night on Kids Moods, the Phil Spencer port where you could plug it in and it just like fucking.
Everyone knows he wants to do that. Everyone knows that he wants to make an upgradable console.
Yeah.
So that would have been the perfect time to have been like, this is this box. It's better, blah blah blah. But guess what? Come next year, you're gonna be able to take this new stuff and swap it out or whatever.
Exactly, and that's the way how you keep your Slim being sold. You keep your Xbox One sold through holiday, and now here comes the next powerful one. But guess what? Hey, the Slim, it's upgradable. I could just upgrade my Slim to be as powerful as the Scorpio. That is the way how you keep the message going. Because right now you just create a stopgap. And now it's like we're going to just wait for Scorpio. And my headache is going to begin now because all I'm going to hear about and all the media is going to be like is Scorpio this for the next year and a half. And Xbox One is going to be left out in the dust even more so than what it is. And that's the thing that kind of upset me from this whole thing. It's like why – I know it was a real leak. It was leaked, but I'm just like why did you kind of just created a stopgap? Like, I know you want people to buy these games, but everybody's gonna be saying they run better. You should have made the Slim upgradable, either through external GPU or something. And maybe that's coming, but I don't think so. And this whole 4K bullshit that they're like, oh, it's 4K ready. Like, I just saw somebody wrote like in the chat, Mike Ybarra saying that, oh, the Slim could upgrade 4K to up-res to 4K. That's because it just has a higher HDMI port that kind of supports 4K. Yeah. Whatever. That's not 4K gaming.
I mean, I already saw on, I think it was Polygon or Kotaku, one of those sites, and they said that people should not bother buy a console this year.
At all, yeah.
Yeah, they should just wait because, I mean, if Neo does come out this year, it will be cheaper next year anyway.
If it comes out this holiday,
yeah, but the Neo is more like a less of a necessity, though. That's the problem with it. That's the thing with the Neo versus the Scorpio. The thing is, I believe Microsoft, they're not idiots that work there. Like, they're not putting all that power in that damn box for no reason, dude. So like, we're gonna have a console where multiple VR devices is gonna be compatible with natively. To be able to play games 4K natively, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's going to play the same games, Xbox One and Xbox One S and Windows 10, they're going to get the same games, but most of the games on Scorpio will be running neck and neck with your PC games. Mm-hmm. So it's like, where's the Neo, unless they change anything, which I doubt it, is it's less of a necessity, and it's more just to satisfy games upscaling on a 4K television. You know what I mean? It's not going to. The game's going to be it's a quick fix. It's not, and that's why they're not gonna. They didn't want to, and this is why they're not showing it at E3 because they're not going to advertise it as this big brand new like console. They're going to release a new box, probably going to look similar. It's going to be more expensive, but it's not. If you're a PlayStation person and you're gaming, let's say on a monitor or a regular HD TV, you buying a Neo is not going to benefit you in any way. Sure, maybe a couple of the games are going to look better, but because of the way the developers have to develop for it, I don't think a lot of people are going to make the transition to fully capable. And I feel like you're going to get like a bunch of lazy ports. So the game will run on Neo, but it's not going to do anything where it looks dramatically better. It's going to look like an up-res PS4 game.
Yeah, and that's
just to let you know, Crackdown's been delayed to 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I figured that.
They never said it was coming out this year anyway. They just said a beta was going to come out.
The reason the guy gave was that he wants to give us the best experience for this new technology.
Scorpio, this is what I mean. Here comes a delay. Oh, fucking headache now.
Xbox One S small, dude. It's like I'm looking at the back of it. It's like smallish. But it has
Phil Spencer port.
I mean. Do you think it would be easier just to say to stuff like get a Xbox One S or something like that, and then just get a high-end PC, since you can go back and forth? Because it seems like every game's going to be play anywhere now.
The play anywhere, I think it definitely makes the case for if you do have an Xbox One, whether it's Scorpio or whether it's Xbox One S, to go invest in a gaming PC. Maybe not $1,000 one or but a decent one, because even a laptop, gaming laptop, and I know they could be for $1,000, $900, $800, because now you just added a kind of like a portable Xbox, and that's what I do. Like, I got a gaming laptop, and it's incredible when I can play Killer Instinct in my hotel room. I don't have to lug my Xbox One with me, wonder if it's going to hook up to the TV. I could just play it right on my computer, and that's what my computer is, a portable Xbox. And now with them doing the buy one get it everywhere, it's awesome. Like, Xbox Anywhere is incredible, and it definitely gives the case, even if you have a PC, to go buy an Xbox. Because why are you going to buy PlayStation where you got to buy a whole new ecosystem unless you want to get their game?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, because I obviously do development, so I'm due a new PC and stuff. So I'm gonna really buy a beast, if you want to call it that. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can have this 6 teraflops and all this stuff right now. If I buy this.
That's the thing.
If I build my new piece and stuff like that, I don't have to wait till next year or whatever, and then I buy the Xbox One S, I mean, I've already got 3 Xboxes in my house.
Me too.
Some admittedly are development kits and stuff like that, but you know what I mean. They play just the same.
That's another
So,
thing. If you're
you know.
eager for that power, you could go get 6 teraflops. Hell, the 1080 from Nvidia, that thing is friggin' like crazy. I think it's like 10
Well,
teraflops.
that's what I'm saying. So I may
It's
as well
like-
just get if I want a high-end gaming, which is what they're saying that the Scorpio's gonna do. I may as well just do it on a PC.
You get it right
and then
now,
just, And
today.
then just have a console that I can just play with my kids and stuff like that. But when I want to do the serious gaming, I'm like, yep, switch. You know, go off to my office, man cave, whatever you want to call it, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna load it up on there and get all the the hair effects and the beautiful lighting and blah 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 and stuff like that. And then because it's play anywhere, I'm gonna get all my saves. I'm gonna get the exact same game as long as they don't mess up the games on the PC version. Do you know what I mean?
The other thing that's going to be interesting too is that if that Play Anywhere program supports the hard copies, like if you go to a store and buy a Sea of Thieves, say,
they didn't.
If you go to
mention it,
Best
did
Buy
they?
and buy the box, and is there going to be a PC code, or is it like only when you buy it from their Microsoft
Yeah,
store?
it has
Only
to-
for
it
the
has to
store.
be a download.
So I think
It has to be
what's
a
gonna
download.
happen is like if I buy it from whether I buy it on Windows Store or if you buy it on the Xbox Store, it downloads because the store is merged
No,
already.
what he's saying is if you buy the physical copy.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
A physical copy does work, or no? They don't know. They didn't say.
I think that's a question to tweet out.
Yeah, like is this
That'll
gonna
be a
work? Is this
question.
Xbox Anywhere?
This could
Play
be the
Anywhere.
strategy to get you on digital.
Yeah, it makes total sense because then they can control like what you own. Because I don't know if they want to be throwing out free copies in the games, and I don't think publishers, third party, are going to want to support that either.
Yeah,
like,
because I know
we
a
have
lot
to-
of people that were giving away Quantum Break codes.
Oh, they
and-
fucked
and
me up with that Quantum Break code.
Yeah,
That
dude.
10 days after, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, so
I don't know if they're going to do that program, but that's the thing. Like if they force you to kind of go to digital, now
Do you know another thing
Play
that
Anywhere.
they haven't really addressed, and I was so sure they were going to address this? Xbox Live on Windows.
Exactly. When Mike Ybarra was out there, I was like, they're making Xbox Live free. How can they not? Like, why are you paying for it? And it's like, nope. And that was another thing. That was kind of, talk about that part of the show. Like Mike Ybarra's announcements of the club, having club games, finding like kind of going almost like classifieds where you could say, hey, I'm looking for somebody that wants to play this level in Gears of War with me, and then you could like kind of like go through classifieds basically on Xbox and find somebody that wants to do something, or you could put a request out. And then the other thing he said was like languages or something like that you could have languages. Like I thought they were kind of like ho-hum announcements for Xbox Live. I think they're neat with the clubs. And I think it's great for the YouTube community and Twitter and just people who want to get together and just make a crazy club. Like Tick wants to do like a club. Like I think that would be good. But I'm just like, yeah, those are nice. But why did you save those for E3?
I knew, because again, I knew that they were coming and stuff like that.
And you're like,
I did not think they would be announced at E3. I thought that, like you're saying, they seem like things that they're nice to have, and would have been nice to be announced for the preview program and stuff like that. But they weren't things to announce at E3 because, people weren't really. I mean, the way I was told about it was that it's like going. Some people go to Facebook or they go to these external forums and stuff like that to try to find people to play. Like, for example, the Division. You can't find any of your friends that have it, but you really want to play it and stuff like that. Instead of having to go into Facebook and be like, let's all meet up at 8 o'clock, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff, you kind of do it on your Xbox, and then you can just... I can't remember if they said you have to sort of like launch games from it or whatever and stuff like that. But it would be nice to have these forums on the Xbox itself and stuff like that. But as you say, it's just not something that you think announce that and everyone's going to go wild for it because, again, you're talking to the wrong sort of audience. Do you know what I mean? People are there like, we want games to actually play.
Or you want like some
like is nice
crazy features like streaming Xbox games or streaming your PC games on your Xbox or something like that.
Well, I mean, we was told we're gonna get features as big as backwards compatibility.
I know he said that.
I don't know which was the
not those three.
Apart from Scorpio, which it's not a feature, it's a whole hardware change and stuff.
Yeah.
What were the features that were as big as backwards compatibility? Because I did not see them.
Yeah.
I
So,
even thought one
good.
thing the kids might want to say. I just saw a Twitter post that they saying that the Slim has a 4K Blu-ray player. It's a 4K Blu-ray player, which I guess that's good. But the 4K movies are $30. They're $29.99 for a 4K movie and a limited selection. But it does play those 4K movies, which those DVDs, those 4K players, the UHD are like $400. So
Okay, with this new the Xbox One S,
yes.
the thing that people are gonna complain about is, okay, I put in my game or whatever that I currently already own, and it's still gonna be hitting 900p. So it's like, well, okay, I get, do you know what I mean? I get this new 4K, streaming and stuff like that, but I'm still struggling to hit 900p because what's gonna change between now and when the Scorpio comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, if you had to grade Microsoft conference, what would you give it?
Ooh. I'll give it a 6.5, maybe. Yeah.
A 6 out of 10? 6.5
Yeah,
out of 10?
Yeah.
All right.
Dude,
You can do it however you want.
I did the Bethesda one as a C plus last night. I would say, letter grade. I give this one sort of I give it a B. I give him a B, and probably around like a 7 or 7.5 as the thing. Like I think I think the energy they started with was great. Phil Spencer came out, he was excited. I think that was great. The fact that this is the first time Phil Spencer kind of like led a discussion on new hardware. He was not the hardware guy with the Xbox One. He was not. He went out there and got booed at the price or like silenced with the price of $500. I hope he doesn't go out there next year and do $500, $500, and everybody's like Scorpio, $500, and next year. But I thought it was good. They had some good stuff. I thought the beginning was great. Gears of War looked good. Gears of War 4. But again, like we didn't even talk about Gears of War 4. And Horde mode and stuff. I'm like, it just shows that we're kind of like, yep, it's Gears. Put it in the books. I'll get it. Definitely, we're playing it. We're getting it. But there's nothing crazy to get super duper excited about. The other question I had in the Gears of 4 thing was, were those characters really talking, or did they kind of ad-lib that over to make it look like that they were telling what they were doing? Because it did look kind of weird. His mouth wasn't moving, and they were kind of like, aim it over there. Like they seemed like they were talking too much.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, nice.
Some people might be saying I'm scoring it too low and stuff like that, but for me, I just felt like too much things were predictable. The predictable things were there. Forza, Gears of War, Halo Wars, Sea of Thieves, stuff like that. So the things that I expected to be there was there, but what took the score down for me was the fact that the things I wanted to know more about, being Recall, Sea of Thieves, stuff like that, they just did not give me that information. So I'm walking away thinking, what are these games? What are they about? Why should I be interested in buying these games?
Yeah.
So they had these the big heavy hitters there and stuff like that. And Gears of War, it looked amazing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not scoring it because I'm thinking, the games weren't good or whatever. It's because they've left me with a few questions that I think that they should have used, the time to sort of to address and stuff like that. And and it could just be as well. Like EA for me was probably 2 out of 10. Ubisoft was probably 1 out of 10. So
yeah, I know.
Microsoft they're doing quite well.
Look at this, the collector's edition of Recall. I'm like, okay, guys, you showed for 2 minutes of it. Now they give me collector's editions. There's a model of the girl and the dog.
Hey, I don't know. I might rock with it.
I agree, but it's just like but show more. And the other thing here, I'm just giving you some Twitter stuff that I'm just saying. Project Scorpio is now trending in the United States.
Yep.
Gears of War, and then here, Gears Viking says Gears of 4 will take advantage of Scorpio hardware. It fucking begins. There you go. Now I get to hear that for a year and a half. This is the bullshit. I'll be playing on Xbox Scorpio on the fall, my 980 Ti. There you go. Scorpio is here this holiday in my house.
Do you know? I just looked at the just looking for Twitter, sorry, on Facebook, and I'm just like, Sony have a wide opportunity now to just take advantage and walk away with the win. No,
I don't know what they can do though. I really don't know what they
all
really
they need to do is start going. Okay, we got Crash Bandicoot. We got started. And then people are gonna be like, oh yeah. Do you know what I mean?
They're gonna say Microsoft is confusing everybody with all this hardware Scorpios, and my Sony's just gonna keep it clean into the games. And watch now, everybody says Sony is just showing games. Meanwhile, that's all Microsoft did the last 3 years.
Yeah. I'm going to give Microsoft their conference. I'm going to give it a B+. And I'm giving it a B+ because, like I said, had it not been for the leaks, if I would have just said, no, I'm going to ignore the leaks and stuff like that, I would have been extremely impressed because I wouldn't, even though I'm expecting to see Forza and Gears, I would have been impressed at what I saw from everything else. Had nothing leaked, this would have been a stellar show. My gripes with it is the same gripes that Bites of Chicken had, which was I didn't hear much about Sea of Thieves, even though we saw it and that they had nothing to say about it. Crackdown was a no-show.
Recore didn't get that much play.
Recore, it didn't get enough gameplay for it to be a game that's coming out this year, and for us not hearing for it since it's been announced. So, you know what I mean? So, and then still, the little indie montage, the only thing about the indie montage that drives me nuts, I feel like I see the same games in that indie montage for like the last...
Yeah, they're not coming out, I know. Look how long Happy Few got. That guy was like, that was a long-ass demo for the Happy Few, an indie game, and it's like, but you got your brands, your Recall, you're selling now collector's editions of the Recall person. I don't know what her name is. And I'm gonna buy a statue of her.
Her name is, I think, damn, what was her name?
Exactly.
It's like
I think the cover art looks like her arms look weirdly thin in that cover.
But I'm just like, you had Happy Few indie game out there, looked pretty cool, like a BioShock game. But I'm just like, the time they devoted to certain things, the timing was really weird. And then to pigeonhole it between
I think, but
hardware announcements.
We Happy Few, they're marketing it as like BioShock.
Yeah, it looked cool. I heard that.
I'm saying, so cool. I mean, but you have to be real. We Happy Few, which is an indie game, looks much better than Recall. I'm sorry. To me,
it looked more. Well, they made it interesting. Like
I keep on looking at Recall, and I'm just going through Facebook, and then people are just like, it looks like trash, and I'm just like, do you know what? It does not look good. Like, it just. I don't know, man. It's not the game that I thought it was gonna be. And it's the same as that Mega Man game, Mega Man 9. Sorry, not Mega Man. The creator of Mega Man. What's that one? Mighty Number 9. The concept looked amazing, and that's exactly how I felt with Recall when I saw that first trailer for Recall. It looked amazing. But when you watch the actual gameplay, it's like this looks just.
It looked all right. I still don't know what it is. Is it open world? Is it a thing? They just put on They just had, like, Phil Spencer has quote again. It's at the end. He said, "Today marks the beginning of the future of gaming beyond generations. A future full of choice. A future where we can all play without boundaries." And that's his thing. And I agree. It's just that's wonderful, but I don't think it's going to be the reality of the situation. I think right now we're all over the place with 4K streaming, 4K gaming, and the thing is that. If you had a console environment and it was just Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox Scorpio, that's great. But you're bringing PC into there, which is already you could do anything you want with the PC. So you already have your infinite console there, like your infinite piece. It's just kind of confusing. Like, why are we all getting pumped and waiting for Scorpio? And it's just, I don't know.
Recall.
I'm excited. I want to know
$40 and comes with Banjo-Kazooie apparently. So
what? $40 Recore?
$40 and comes with Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts.
Told Kid Smooth, where is he? I told you Recore's not gonna be a full price game, and watch Dead Rising is not gonna be either.
Well, I don't. Hey, there's more money for me.
I know.
That means I can buy more. That's another extra.
This is the problem. This is the problem because when I looked at Recall, I was like, this does not look like a AAA game to me. And
there you go.
If they had said that, then I wouldn't be thinking, oh, it looks trash, because I'm judging it thinking this just does not look like a good.
Those
AAA
games
game.
were presented, they were presented as $40 games on stage. That's their mind share to those games. Not to say that they're bad games or that they're any less than a game because of the price, but the way they presented those games, the mind share that they gave to those new IPs, not that one, but Dead Rising 4 and Recore, the way they gave it, it seems very kind of like, yep, here it is. It's coming out.
Well, if that's the case, if they $40 each, I'm popping off. I mean, I'm getting both. Like,
That's
I'm going
great.
to. I'm happy that I don't think Recore looks that bad. I don't think it looks that bad as far as.
I don't think so. But the way people hold exclusives nowadays, and you think Microsoft's investing in exclusives, you're thinking you're going to get it. What I'm looking for is the next tier. Like, you had your Gears of War, you had your Halo, you had your Fable, you had your Forza.
Oh yeah.
Where is your
$39.99? It is $39.99. I'm about to pre-order it right now.
Oh shit! Good luck with that. But what I'm saying is, where is Microsoft's investment in the next tier of gaming? Like when Mike Ybarra came out there and started talking about Xbox Live and talking about how great it was, and I'm like, wow, they're gonna make it free. Or like, yes, they're gonna do, like, where's the next game that embraces that? And I don't see it. And if they're investing so much time in new IPs and new things, where is that passion to make the next pillar? So it's not Gears, Forza, Halo, because I love those. I think they're great, but they're kind of like, yep, like, it's coming, I'm buying it, good, let's move on, give me something else to buy. And that's kind of like where I'm getting. And then they throw hardware shit in this with all that confusion. I don't know where we're going. Like, I'm along for the ride. I love it. I love Xbox. I love what they're doing. I love what Microsoft's doing. I think it's great. It adds more value. But I'm just confused as hell where the gaming industry's going. I don't know what we're going with anymore.
Hey, we got to find out.
Just go along for the ride. And I think the leaks did hurt this whole thing. Just imagine a world where the Scorpio was never leaked. My mouth would have been on the floor if they just came out at the end and announced Scorpio. Holy shit! If that and even if Neo was announced with that stuff, but the fact that Scorpio leaked, I think is really shitty, because I think the whole world would have just collapsed knowing that thing. Well, it was a rumor, but it was pretty legit. And everybody was just talking about it. But man, that would have been a huge news to drop. And the same thing with Dead Rising. Yeah, that would have been pretty big too. But yeah, the links did hurt.
Yeah, but let's get ready to close this out, because I know Ubisoft, they're about to go live, and I think Ubisoft is my pick. Ubisoft is my pick to win E3 this year.
Oh
yeah.
It is. They're my pick to win E3.
Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon coming back.
Last year's.
So coming back.
They're my pick. Like I said, Sony. Sony. Wow, they're gonna do what they do. They're gonna try to win you over with nostalgia. None of the games, everything they show ain't gonna come out like in the next 5 years. So I'm not worried about that. But I think Ubisoft has potential to take the show. Microsoft had a good showing. It's just everything was freaking leaked.
Yeah.
So it's just that's how I feel about it. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching our immediate reactions of Xbox Play Anywhere reaction, Project Scorpio, the whole Windows Xbox movement. Also, if you're it's the summertime, good time to play some good games. Make sure you check out Gear Gauntlet, which is out for Xbox One right now. That was by Bites Chicken. I just rage quit yesterday. I meant to on one stage. It took me 3 weeks to get past this one stage. Finally get past it, and now I'm stuck on this one part of another stage. I'm like, all right, this is starting to get on my nerves. But good game. Check it out. It's what? Is it $10?
Yeah, $9.99. Yeah.
$9. The Gear Gauntlet on Xbox One. Look for it in the Xbox store. Tell Cortana to look for Gear Gauntlet.
Sounds good.
All right. Nice. You guys got anything you want to say before we go?
No, just keep following me on @BitesChicken on Twitter and @DropInt as well. I've got a few announcements that's coming down the pipeline. Could be involving the Scorpio and the Xbox One S. Who knows? So yeah, just keep looking out for that.
Yep, and this is Jez77. You can follow me on Twitter at Jez7780, and that's my Steam handle, and also my Xbox Live is Jez77. I play all over the place on with every game. So feel free to follow me and friend me.
All right, and Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning or afternoon if you're on the other side of the globe. We out.
All right.